Okay. Workforce Director.
How are you?
I'm good.
Okay, so we wanted to come today and kind of explain a little bit about WIOA, which is the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act. So back in August of 2017, all of the counties, our 25 counties, which is what's blue on my card, entered into an agreement, the Leo Consortium agreement, that we would be a workforce board. And that goes through the state blessed it, so we had to update or do a modification because of COVID to our Leo Consortium agreement. So that's what's before you, is the modification. The modification, there were a couple of changes. One was, in the event, you guys elected CJ Rose as the chief elected official. That's who I deal with on a day-to-day basis, is CJ Rose from Beaver County. So one of the things that changed because of COVID, they had the county commission, or the CLEOs in other areas get sick with COVID. One of them passed away, and then there was no one to oversee or be the CLEO, because we only had one. So one of the modifications to that is the meeting that we had in Woodward about a month ago, where all the county commissioners were invited. They elected Clint White as the vice CLEO, and he would only be able to make decisions if CJ was completely incapacitated. So that's the first change. The second change is that our executive committee on the board reviews all of the attendance of all of our board members, and in the event that they feel like one needs to be replaced, we can replace them. The final thing was that every year, because the seats for county commissioner come up for re-election, that we review this agreement yearly, and if there's a new commissioner that comes in, then we have to get those signatures, but the incumbent ones, we don't have to get the new signatures. So those are the three modifications that was made to the original that everybody agreed to in 17.
Okay. When was the last time this was signed? Because I don't seem to remember signing the workforce agreement.
When the meeting was.
I have everybody's signature pages too. So this is, right here's the one from 8/2/17. It was at ACO.
Okay.
So then
So that was before I was even here.
Right.
Yeah, see, so do you know about Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act?
We know what you are, where you help people find jobs and train them.
Right.
Okay, yes, we
Right.
understand that. So that's why I wasn't familiar with this, because I knew, seeing the county can only enter agreements 1 year at a time. We cannot enter into a long-term agreement.
Well, it's not a contract.
Yeah.
It's the consortium agreement, and it's through the state.
Okay.
Is what it is. And so what happens is, okay, we used to be the 17 counties up here, and then 8 counties. And what happened is those 8 counties, the state came in and said, you don't meet the population threshold, so you have to dissolve as a workforce board. So they had to either merge with us or this area down here that is like Lawton. Well, the state had meetings with their county commissioners, and they said, we don't want to go with Lawton, we want to go with, we were called Northwestern. So then what happened was, we had the big meeting at ACO, and all of the county commissioners signed this. Then it goes to the state, in the governor's office, the workforce council, they approve and say, yes, you can be designated as an area. So that's kind of some history about how we got to be so big, because we're 1/3 of the state.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
but here's the old one. This one is identical to that one. The fiscal agent didn't change. The designation of counties, you can't just change the designation of counties without going through the state.
Well, that was my question. I was like, I just didn't know how our county got put into this agreement or anything,
Yeah.
because I've only been here a year and a half, but I just was unaware of it because I haven't seen or heard nothing about it. So, which I understand the COVID and everything's been on the back burner. So,
And believe it or not, we were the one workforce board area that during COVID, our numbers didn't fall. Our numbers continued to climb. So the state has given us kudos for that. We have, you want to know more about your area? I mean, you're free to ask me any kinds of questions, and I brought some statistics too. They text them to you today. So the program year runs from July 1 to June 30th, okay? So this has been since July 1. We have 19 active participants. We spent $48,709 on those 19. 5 were CDL and 9 were LPNs. So one thing to remember about our program is, like Alfalfa County, that's rural area, a lot of farming. You don't have a lot of dropouts. You don't have kids that drop out and don't go to school. That's one of the requirements for our programs. Low-income individuals qualify for our programs. We spend at least 40%, usually closer to 50% of all the money we get on direct client participants. We spend 20% on work experience.
so are you state funded?
Federally
Federally
funded.
funded? Okay.
This comes down from the feds, it goes to the governor, and then the governor gives it to the workforce boards.
How does people get in contact with you, or how does people become aware of you?
This is what's crazy, you know, the government, we can't spend 1 penny on advertisement. So we do social media, we go around and speak to organizations. Laura Hammondtree, she's our business service person. So we have 3 business service people that go out and talk to businesses about our services. We go to schools, we connect with the counselors, financial aid. Because I've also got the program year before, we spent, I think, $16,000 on at Northwestern. We also spent at Northwest Tech. Charlotte Hadwiger, we're very close with her as well. And so we connect with the LPN students, because that's going to be your closest, what we call training providers. So we do social media, it's mainly word of mouth. We do public service announcements. We've done radio talk shows. What else do we do?
Y'all get to go to the job fairs and things?
We do, we set the
put on
job
the job
fairs
fairs.
up.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Job fairs and rapid response events for businesses that are closing. We get all our partners together and put on, try and get employers to participate as well. We just put on an event for them the employees to try and find the help they need and maybe a new job before their job is even shut down.
And we skills match. So for an example is in the next couple weeks, there's a flooring manufacturing company in Stillwater where they make flooring. They're going to lay off 120 people. So we just had a meeting on the way over on Zoom to see across our area where these individuals might be needed, because everybody needs workers, right?
Well, that's what it seems like to me. I mean, 6 months ago or so, you walk in a restaurant, I went and stopped in Blackwell, and they had a sign, sorry for the slow, but they can't find no workers.
It's everywhere.
And I mean, that's what seems to be kind of funny,
Crazy.
is you're trying to help people find jobs, but it seems like to me there's jobs out there that people don't want to work. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's kind of a,
And what we try to do is we try to take individuals that are on an entry-level position. So say you have someone at a motel who is entry-level housekeeping. So we try to take them and upskill them to where they can get a better job and then fill those other entry-level jobs with people with no skills and then do the same thing. So it creates like a vacuum. If everybody's moving up, it's gonna be sucking in new workers is the hope. Because, I mean, it's all about the self-sufficient wage too. Self-sufficiency, I mean, I don't know about all of you, but, I mean, there's a certain amount of money you have to make every month in order to, your family to survive. And we try to increase that by training people. We train a lot of CDL drivers. Let me see if I can find that and I can show you.
see, that's something in our line of work, we can't find CDL drivers.
I know, it's across the state. That's the number one in Oklahoma right now of jobs needed and untrained. But I'm gonna show you. Right here's just, this is just our CDL. And this is for just this program year for, the program year starts, the number is the year, so that's PY21, so that's been since July, and you'll see over here in the blue, that's what we've spent at these training facilities since just July, and then I'll show you PY20, I've got that as well, right here. This is all of this is everything we've spent in PY20. I know it's kind of little, but if you go across, here's the name of the schools. And then we also do supported services. So say someone needs to go to CDL school, we can pay for their steel-toed boots, their fire retardant clothes, whatever they need for that training. Like the LPNs, we pay for that whole, their scrubs, their watch, their stethoscope, and then that whole bag of like the tubing.
Like the CDL school, if I'm not wrong, I think it's about $4,000 just to go to the school.
It's anywhere between 5 and 6.
5 and 6.
It's over 5, I think now.
And you pay 100% of that?
Yes, and here's what we can do for you, is say you have someone in the community that say has worked on a farm, but you know they have to go to CDL school now, and you're wanting them as an employee. They can go out and apply for our services, and if they meet our eligibility, which is like low income, they have to have a barrier to employment, we can pay for all of that and then send them back to you. And it's real easy to apply. So if you look on our website on my card, you
So
just,
it's on that brochure.
yeah, like right here, this right here, and then all they do is click to apply. It's like 7 questions, and it comes straight to us. Within 72 hours, someone's calling them, screening them for eligibility. So, yeah, so the totals are the white all the way across, right
Yeah.
there. And that was during COVID too. That sheet right there, that's during COVID. Some of them were shut down, but we still got people enrolled and got them in as soon as we could. Let's see what else I have here. Yes, and here's some numbers if you want to know. Per workforce office, this is what we gave out at the commissioners meeting. But you can see how many people we serve under each one. do you know Dennis Luckenbill from Enid? He's our board chair. He's been our board chair for a long time. He's very engaged. And when we leave, we want to also talk to your sheriff and your judge, because one of our targeted populations, since everyone, you know, can't find workers, is the justice-involved individuals. We really like to put them on and help them,
Sure.
because, I mean, that's an untapped pipeline of workers.
Well, they need to be working.
Yeah, recidivism.
Yes.
So by signing this, we're opening up to somebody that's eligible to apply if they want to, we gotta have their sign.
Right, it just says that, and you can read through there, but it talks about what the bylaws are for the board. Because how that money comes is okay, the federal government says that the CLEOs and the LEOs, the local elected officials in any state, because this is across the United States, will be responsible for the money, and they are the ones that say who's going to be in their workforce board area. So it comes down to the governor, and the governor has said that the county commissioners is who's going to be considered the LEOs in the state of Oklahoma. So you guys are responsible for the money, but we have insurance, we have for disallowed costs, there's firewalls, because we have to hire service providers to actually give the services in those American Job Centers, the workforce offices, unemployment offices, whatever you want to call them. So they're the first line of defense. Our monitors, the board monitor if they find a disallowed cost. So say they would enroll someone who wasn't actually eligible, they're the ones that pay that back, not you guys, because we have good firewalls. Since I've been here since 2012, I've never known this area or the Northwest area to have to get money from the county commissioners for disallowed costs. And it talks about your board. So your workforce board has got, it has to be 51% business, and they have bylaws. CJ signs off on all the board members. He can kick them off at any time. So if there would be any problems, you guys could talk to CJ and he can make it happen.
So we need to make a motion on this to accept this, or?
Yeah, you can make a motion and then sign. That's what most of them have done that didn't come to the meeting. Because our Leo Consortium meetings are twice a year, and they're also open meetings, so everyone can attend because we file it with the Secretary of State and everything. So, let me see.
We can vote on it or not, we'll see if we're gonna discuss it. I thought we were gonna put it on the agenda different.
Okay.
To accept it. Or am I missing?
It was requested. That's a copy of what I sent over there. It said,
I put it just like you had it, Nancy, to explain the program and answer
was
questions.
signed, the local elected officials.
No, he was telling me that they sign it. He was telling me that the commissioners sign it. But I knew nothing about this. Nobody talks to me, so I put it like it was stated at the top.
Okay.
Well, and it doesn't have to be signed
No,
today,
it
but.
is signed.
I think we better put it on the agenda with the proper
To me,
language.
Okay.
Where,
Yeah, and it's just a modification
where are
too.
you wanting them to sign?
They each have a sign-in sheet, so they each do one sheet. So you can
You
just
need
copy
3
that.
sheets of that, then,
Yeah.
and then they don't sign anywhere on here.
No, that's CJ. So it's just that
I wouldn't
one.
have had it correctly anyway, because nobody speaks to me and tells me, so can't do
You
anything.
need my card too, in case you have any questions. Let me give it to you.
So that is enough. Yeah. Okay.
do it Monday, so you need to vote to,
Yep.
I'll make a motion to do it Monday.
Well, we don't need to make, we don't have a
Well,
motion,
have
we
there-
just
we don't
discuss,
need
so.
to.
We'll just, we'll put it back on the agenda next
Do you want me to
Monday.
email this
Okay.
back to you, mail it back to you?
That's fine, and Benita McGuire
Uh-huh.
is who's been sending those out, but you can send them to me.
Okay.
Okay, anything else?
Thank you.
Thank you
Okay.
for
Thank you.
explaining
You're
this
so
to us.
welcome. Anytime you guys have, anybody that you think would benefit from our program, let us know, have them apply,
Okay.
and we'll get
Thank
them
you for
help.
helping
Yeah,
people.
and we've got
Yes, thank you very
brochures,
much.
We've got brochures downstairs. Nick-
That's, well, I was going to say, I
In a
think
couple
there's a
different
table and
places.
stuff down there, y'all. can
Yeah,
put some
I put
out.
some on the table last time I was through, and then I found over by the, what is it, dispatcher, there's a
And
place
you
that
might
does
want to
them.
stop by City Hall or somewhere and drop some off over there,
Yep.
because people go in there occasionally asking for jobs and places, so.
Yeah, that's what our business services, they scour all the little towns, so
Yeah.
funny story if you have a second.
Yeah.
We got a map of Oklahoma when we first got our business service people, and I said, okay, we don't just serve the larger towns, I want you to go to every little town that's on this map and mark it and tell me what's there. It's your job to know what's there. So Laura calls me, she's like, what was the name of the town? Start with an A.
Yeah, I can't
It's
remember.
around
It's southeast of Enid.
and said,
Ames.
Aim,
No,
that's southwest.
I think it starts with an E, but it,
anyway, she goes, I'm there. Well, I said, well, what's there? And she goes, a railroad track.
Google took me, it was in the, out by that big, plant east of Enid.
Fertilizer plant.
Yeah,
Oh,
so it took me just north of there, it had me turn back east. And that was a bad road, and then it had me turn onto a dirt road, took me down in the middle of a field. If a truck had come the other way, I was a goner. And then I got to the railroad track, and said, you're here.
Well, thank you, ladies,
Yeah.
we appreciate it very much.
Thanks
All
for
right.
having
Good to
us.
sit to you.
Y'all have a great
Thank
day.
you.
And what we talked about out in the hall, they're upstairs on the
Third floor. Okay,
third.
we'll
The
go
whole
up there.
third floor is dedicated.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. Next thing here on the agenda is vote to enter or not to enter an executive session.
I'll make a motion.
Second. Session.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Take action or no action regarding executive session.
Do we need to state the action, or do we just say what we agree, that we agree on the action?
You can't take any action in executive session, it has to be done.
Well, we're in open session again.
Yeah. You have to state what the action will be, or take no action.
I moved it. That was the action we're taking. We put her on
Okay.
60-day probation.
You made the motion?
I'll let you
All in favor?
know.
Minutes?
Just a second to get organized, yeah.
I move we accept the
I second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Payroll warrants?
Hold on, I got one more place. This is the second page of yours. Here's the first page, it's District 3.
Aye. Blank purchase order? Oh, sorry. I'm getting a little ahead of myself, ain't I?
You trying to get out of here fast.
I'm working on it.
Did we get a motion on table?
Yes.
You just said that, J and B. I have no idea what I did with yours.
That's next.
Yours.
So mine.
Yeah, I don't know if I stuck them
Oh.
on my desk. Or what I did with them. Remember, look at my desk for Not that one, me?
Now that's lunchtime, you want your burrito?
I was honestly thinking about that. I'm ready for a hamburger or something.
I didn't have that old tractor.
Oh, yeah, the hydraulic pump went out of it.
Did you check the oil in?
I don't know. What I wonder is, are they using High Guard or Mystic versus some Atwood stuff? You don't use High Guard or Mystic down here?
No bonds yet.
What's the deal on this one?
No, I get the,
It's another payment.
get the
Oh,
thing
okay.
that comes in.
It's in a late order.
That ought to be under warranty, I would think.
You would think.
It just hit me. That pickup's not that old.
Well, I don't know.
The assessors pick
Oh.
up.
Unless when they put the wrapping on it or something, they get a machine. Check that. Twenty-three, 22 is hard for me to write.
It's backwards.
It is. I'm sorry. favor?
Aye.
Blanket purchase orders?
Got one from Sheriff, District 1, District 2, ambulance, and assessor. Sign.
That one's done.
Ambulance too.
These don't need to sign, right?
The sign, yeah.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Uh,
Road crossing permits?
mhm. Yeah. I move we take the road crossing permit.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Interlocal agreement. Joint County, contiguous counties and Grant County. I'll make a motion to approve the agreement. All in favor?
Aye.
Title sheet for state job 311227.
There's another copy of this. Laura wanted that.
Okay.
It's in there. There's a copy of the sign.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor? Resolution for this distinguishing.
Designated.
Okay, designating county newspaper.
I move we accept it.
Second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution for Sessions cash interest.
I move we accept it.
All second. All in favor?
Aye.
Speedy pace here. Resolution for designating first deputies. I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
in favor?
Aye.
So fairgrounds interest.
No, I'm just trying to see where we're at.
Fairgrounds.
What do we do on the deputies? We just kept them the same.
Yes.
I called your group. All right.
Just got lost there. I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Wheel and highway sales cash fund interest.
Can we do all those resolutions at once?
Oh, good, let's just go through them at once.
Give me a motion in a second.
I'll make a motion to do them all.
Okay,
Aye.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Hand us that stack.
Where's your step?
We're clear down to the.
We're all gonna have to split this burrito here in a
And I
minute.
put it in it.
Does that include clear down to lease renewals?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yes.
We'll have the banks, some of the banks will send their own lease renewals, but I just do all of them. And then just in case, so we have some of the banks that don't send their own. Okay, on this one here, this is this Echo Sig and Echo Sif. Do we wanna do like we did last time and pay it 100% out of county general?
I think so.
I think that,
Okay. I mean, we can always go back in there and change it if for some
Yeah.
reason there's not
Yeah.
enough. Last time we paid it in 2 payments, so we had a few, months of, appropriations in there.
Okay, resolution for lease purchase renewals.
No.
We did it.
Yes,
We
we
did.
did. Okay, estimate of needs.
That was the last one. The left-hand side, not the right-hand side. The right-hand side is the excise.
oh yeah, that's the one from the black.
You want? See?
Yeah, we just signed at the bottom of these, it doesn't have any.
Yeah, just sign, yeah, we'll just date it and sign it there on one spot. You can sign and just. On there or whatever. And Michael, there's ones that are county general, you can sign those. And what's her name, didn't sign this one, I'll have her sign
This here's still got Stan Tucker.
that. If they don't use mine, I can't guarantee what they have if they don't use my form.
It's the sheriff.
It's given to them, so.
You said the county general.
Yeah. It's like the work comp and all of those. Rick, if you can sign this one. Is there another sheriff one on there? Not yet?
Yeah.
What date was signed? sign hers.
You want me to sign Shayna's?
Yeah. That's the excise board.
Sign it down.
Oh, she'll sign at the bottom. I just draw lines for no reason.
County audit, do I need to sign that one?
Yeah. Sorry.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Law library.
I move and hit this.
Second, all in favor? Contract services between county budgeting services.
This is Betty Carroll's contract. Those things out over there. It's for next year. Just has chairman's name on, signature on it. There's two copies, one somebody's in the back to her.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any business?
Move we adjourn.
I'll second that. All in favor?